Alright, so this is gonna be like the first, technically the second, but gonna be like the first little episode of, like the start of a series or something I might want to do with Stoneworks. If it turns out well, I'll keep doing it. If not, then whatever. But this is the WindWalker, technically episode 1, but we're not gonna get into the exact details of everything right now. For now, we're just going to probably work on this. I don't know what I want to do first exactly. I'm thinking I want to probably add some more detail in here, because right in here it's just super bland. I also want to fix these doors, because if I get out of photo mode here and a no clip over here, if I open these doors, they open perfectly fine. Oh, I'm sorry, I kind of like popped the microphone a bit. But if I close them, they do that, and that's because that's on a delay, and that isn't. Sorry about that. And so that makes it so it opens perfectly fine, but when I close it, it doesn't open fine. And I know how to do this in what's the game? In like Scribe Mechanic, I can do this okay-ish. Basically, it's some weird bypass things where, if this is on, then it's a whole thing. It's weird, but I'll get it figured out. So that's gonna be a logic thing. If that takes me forever, we'll just see. All right. So now that we're in here, we're just going to set up a microcontroller. We're gonna go edit one. I should figure out which one I have the doors set up for. These are on this and this. Okay. We're on this microcontroller. We're on two different microcontrollers. So we're just gonna set up a new one, and then I'm just gonna take values from there. Sorry if you hear any noise. My computer's kind of loud. I have to clean it and some other things, but. There we go. The mic was having trouble. I don't know. The mic's been pretty buggy lately, so if it just like cuts out, I'll have to redo things, but we'll just see how this works out for now. Also, I do have an air conditioner in the back, but it's usually pretty quiet, so if you can hear that, I'm sorry. I'll probably edit something in post. I'll try my best, but no guarantees. I don't have money to buy all the fancy things for the microphone. So that's gonna be how it is for now. So what I'm thinking is an on-off with at least 5 nodes that are numbered. I'm not like a big logic guy. Like, I can understand it decently well. I don't know what everything does though. So, there's that. Rename these like door in, I guess. Door in is when it like goes into the aircraft, and like it goes back out to match up with the, I guess, the hull of the aircraft. So it's like nice. So it's nice and smooth. So for the name, we'll do left door in, and for this I guess we'll do left door slide, for when it like slides out of the way. And then just the same thing for rights. So let's get this set up. Right door slide. Perfect. redo these a little bit just so it's like in, left, slow, stuff like that. Alright, perfect. Now we just have to figure this out. How am I gonna do this? Oh. So what I'm thinking we do here is we set it up for, since this is a toggle, then it will, when it's toggled on, these will go first, and then these will be on the delay. But then when this is toggled to off, so probably something with a numerical junction, because it has off-on channels, then these will go first, and then these will be on a delay. So I have to figure out how to do that, but you know, sure that won't be too hard, just have to figure it out. So we're just gonna save this so I can go copy something else from another thing, and then yeah, I'll be back whenever I get this thing set up and working, and then I'll just try to run you guys through how it works, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I'll be right back. This should work. Alright, let's see if this works now. Please. Yes! Spent a little bit just trying to get that to work. Ooh, it's a little buggy. I gotta fix that. That's a later project because I just want to work on some more things because logic, that took a while. Basically now the door works, and I believe it should work fine without any hitches, whatever, you know, whatever you want to call it. As long as I wait a second in between. No, why do I do this? Mississippi 1. Mississippi 1. There we go, it's working fine now. I just have to move this down to the bottom. Yeah, so let me try to explain this. I'm just gonna try to separate these out. There we go. I'm gonna try my best to explain this, but I'm not the best at doing stuff like that, so we'll see how this goes. So this is the on-off. When this is turned on, when it's receiving an on signal, it turns this system right here on, and this system is all these. It turns that system on, and all that system does is tell it whether or not to be a positive one or a negative one. That's all that does, and it's a little complicated. Everything, and this is a little complicated and just kind of all over the place, so you know, just try to work with me here. If there's a better way to do this, yeah, then I'll try to figure it out, but for now I don't want to mess with this anymore, at least just for today. Next, you know, episode I might not, I don't know, depends on what we're gonna do next episode, could just be anything. So once, you know, that gets sent through, if it's off, it's getting a -1, if it's on, it's a +1. And then this is just a timer system, like everything in these four right here is just, that's the timer. And so right now it's set to wait 1.65 seconds, or a second and like 65% of a second, I guess. Doesn't matter. Anyways, it's getting, you know, it has to wait that long once it receives the number, and then it'll let the number pass through. That's what the memory registry does, as far as I'm concerned. I actually tore this out of a microcontroller in the workshop called the number delay. So, you know, props to that guy, whoever made it. It's not that complicated, and there was like many more, but this was just like the first one I found, so it works perfectly fine. And then, so once that's done, then that tells this either to send a positive 1, wow, or a negative 1 to the numerical junction. If it's turned on, receiving an on signal, it sends the positive 1, or it sends a signal through to you know, to this one if it's on. Yeah, it sends a signal through to the slide, and in this case this would be a positive 1 because then this system gets turned on alongside this, so then this will output a positive 1. So you turn this on, it sends this through to turn all this into a positive 1. That tells us, okay, so we're gonna send a positive 1 to this. This is also on, so it sends positive 1 through to the add. The add has to send the negative 1 to this through the off channel. So if this is off, then it lets the negative 1 through. If it's on, it doesn't let it through, and then it'll just get the positive 1. If I had this, say, the on path to this, to the add, then it would cancel each other out and the end result will be a 0, which I was running into. I had to fix that. That's kind of what took so long, was just me figuring that out. But it's all worked out now, so it's good to go. Then once, you know, all that's done, works fine. But the only reason why I need this is for this one and not this one is because this one will work perfectly fine, because it's on the off path, which means it's getting it's getting a negative 1, and since it's turned on, or it's turned off, it goes through here, and this end result right here, this gets an end result of, I believe, 0. Yeah. If this is turned on, then it lets the 2 through. If not, then it doesn't let anything through, and not anything in this game is just equivalent to 0 when it comes to like the numbers with the numerical junction, basically. So it gets a 0 through, then it's saying, okay, so this is going to be 0 and negative 1. That tells the add, okay, so that's just going to be negative 1, then that goes to there. Then, you know, with this, I had to do this otherwise, because if it's turned on, then, like I said, I run into the issue of it being a negative 1 and a positive 1 running into this, and then that, as I said, cancels to 0, so couldn't have that. And then it's just this exact same setup, but up here the only differences is that, you know, this is the left side and this is the right side. Only differences. Yes, I could take basically the timer, at least this top portion, and only have these 3 instead of having basically 6 of these blocks in total. I don't want to do that right now because I don't want to mess with logic any more than I already have to, or already did today. Unless it's a very small thing. So I hope I explained that well enough. It might have got confusing a bit, but just go back, rewatch if you're still a little confused. Try to just understand it. You know, should work out fine. Anyways, that's all fine. Now all I have to do is move that down somewhere else, and I don't really feel like erasing and replacing because I don't remember if I saved everything over properly. So we're just gonna copy this with this tool. There it is. I know there's a better way to use the selection grid, and I just don't want to because I'm not used to that. So we're gonna do like this for the time being. to find a space in here. That's not at all where I wanted it to do anything. Let's see here. Where can we fit you? Pretty much just right in here. Is there a better spot right here, actually? Well, I guess not. So we'll just put this up here on the roof. Actually, no, we're gonna do this. Yeah. I think that'll fit just a little bit better. And as long as I merge these. I don't know why it doesn't do that even though it's connecting. Okay, why am I getting yelled at with so many errors? Okay, you two are just missing your things. You two are missing your things, and you two are missing your things. And then a bunch of afterburners. That is... What are you? Oh, electric's not connected? What happened with that? What did I erase? What? I don't know. Anyways, I had to go erase logic things that are not being used. Such as... this microcontroller? Question mark? Yeah, I can just erase this. Because I do not need this. So erase. And then it's gonna be the same thing for this one, but which one is it? It's gonna be you. Don't need you, and I believe that means I'll also not need this right here. Right? Is that the right one? Yeah. Which means I also don't need this. Okay. Now, once I can get this block, if I could just focus on a good block to... Nope, nope. God, yeah, what is this? Okay. I don't know why we're being like this game, but there we go. Alright, there we go. Now that things cleaned up a bit. Time to work on another thing. I don't know, I guess I'll just change up a couple things. Like, what I saw in both of those things was different colors on the floor instead of a solid color all around. And also, some spots would go up and be a different color. So, we're gonna try with that. Kind of like this. So that's a different color. I probably might have this be a straight black, but it's not already a straight black. Let it pop out a little bit more. And then we just paint this. And so I'm thinking I want to keep it more or less this color. But then right along the edge, I want to then change it up to be like a little bit darker maybe. This help things contrast a bit better. Yeah, I like that. So we're gonna go with this then. I don't like that, however. Which is a little annoying because that means I have to paint things with paintable signs. So we're gonna do that. Notice I'm getting kind of quiet when I'm... Whoops. move the mic over a bit. Notice I'm getting a little quiet when I talk, so I'm sorry about that. Paintable signs. Where are you? You are. And direction arrows are on. Actually, it might be better if I paint this in and then copy it over, because I believe that's how you copy over things that you've painted. Nope, not that. I don't want to work, so I just want paint. There we go. Finally. Whoops, daisy. Now we just gotta paint this. So. Found this is kind of a good way to paint angles, but not the best. I'm still getting quiet. I gotta be back into that mindset of not being super quiet when I'm talking in the mic. Oh yeah, that's working fine. Let's go. Dang, I am just messing up so much here. Maybe we should do it like this, might be a little better. Yeah. Alright, sorry about that. I don't know why that took me a minute just to figure that out. And then copy this over to here. Probably could just selection grid it, but I don't really care. Anyways, now I just got to go to here, go to selection grid, and I just want to, why do we do this game? I hate how the game changes when you press F to focus on a block. I hate how it changes like where it wants to try to put the camera depending on what you have selected. I'd rather it just stay as whatever block you're hovering on, that's what it tries to select, as opposed to what it does now. I'm just not a big fan of it, but you know, not much I can do about that. Clear this. Bring you up and over here. There we go. I'm just gonna resize this a little bit. I don't know why computer's doing that. It's kind of like being real bassy and then kind of like going in waves, like woo. So if you can hear that like from my actual computer, I'm sorry about that. Not much I can change or do about that. I've been having troubles. Oh, that's not at all what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to just copy it, but you know, I guess it doesn't work fine. Get that and move this in here and paste. And we're just gonna merge everything together. Alright. Now give me the paintbrush, and I'm thinking that actually I'll take this color. Yeah, and I'll just paint this along here. Make sure to not get the red. Alright, there we go. Let's do this on this side real quick. Sorry, I'm a little sick. Alright, there we go. Now just to keep this going. Actually, do I want to? It would make it look a little bit better, so we'll do it. So figure out if these are full blocks. Okay, they are good. Which means I actually can copy this over instead of having to do a whole thing, which is good news for me because that just means get into the position we want it and then just go erase 2 blocks. Get this over there. Nope, that's the wrong way. Didn't want that to happen. Make it look bad. Alright, there we go. Whoops. At least it didn't focus on the roof like last time. Alright. Oh yes, paint this in real quick. I'm doing this just to make it look a little bit better. Because I think it will look a little bit better. So far I think it's looking a little bit better. I don't know why I decided to use a little bit better like that many times, but you know, we're not gonna worry about it. What is going on outside? Loud trucks are passing by. And now I just gotta carry this over. That was a little out of order. Gotta carry this over. Actually, can't I do this with replace color? Yeah. I always forget about that feature. Okay, then how do I want to do this over here? Yeah, I think that looks good. So we'll do that over here real quick then. Yeah. I think it's looking a little bit better. Need to add some lights up in the roof though, because otherwise it's just kind of dark in here. So let's get the RGB lights, and then I'll have to figure that out because I actually don't know how to use those. Because it uses composite for the, like, what it wants the color to be, I believe, unless I'm a dumb idiot. Yeah, I think we'll do. Okay, can't do right there. Actually, I should have been doing it like this. Yeah. Let's do a row in here. I think like why can't I think of the word? A block apart. There we go. Should be pretty good. Did I not grab the block? Oh, I didn't put it in here. And actually give me paint so I can grab this color and then place them down. And I think I'll mess with that tomorrow. And I'll spawn this in, see how this looks. Okay, yeah, that's looking a bit better. So still need to change up some stuff on the walls though. Is that and that the same color? You know, it doesn't feel like dark enough for me. So maybe we'll just paint this straight black. 'Cause I want this to be a different color from the walls. But I also want it to be the same color as like this, what I just painted. But it's not, I guess, like, it doesn't contrast enough with the walls and stuff, so I'm gonna do this real quick with it. Okay, why are you? Don't you know what? I don't mind that, so we'll do this. Let's make it look a little bit better. Need to add in some stuff here, so I'll probably figure out something for right here with like paintable indicators or signs or something, just to give it more detail. There we go. There you go. The inside's looking a little bit better now. Things are contrasting off each other, and then I also want to do another thing here. So I'll probably do a paintable sign with like a no stand or something, because this is where like the door sits. So yeah, I think that'll work. So we'll do that tomorrow. Alright, I think this is looking pretty good. Actually, let me close up the RAM. And then I also need to add in some more things for all these buttons, because I don't know Lua any of that. So I would like to have this should be like 2 options probably, because that way I can do ramp and like, you know, something else. Other than that, I have no clue what to use these for. Same thing for up here. I kind of know what, whoops. Kind of know what to use this for, right here. This will be like the fire button, it'll just be a push. And then it'll just fire whatever you have armed. So if you have 1 armed, then it'll fire 1. If you only have 2 armed, then it'll only fire 2. But if you have both of them armed, then it'll fire them both. That's what I'm thinking will work fine. And then HUD flares, and then some more flight stuff. Probably these will, one of these will be like declutter. That's what I'm thinking, and then that'll turn these 2 off and leave the center one. And then the other option will probably be for like cameras or something. I'm not sure yet. But for now, I'd say it's looking pretty good. I'd say we're more or less good to leave this. Yeah, doors are still a little buggy. I do need to mess with those a bit more. The only other thing that I want to do major-wise is change up the way this thing's gonna fly. Okay? So how I want to have this thing fly is the microcontroller that I already had this, but we're just gonna get up in the air here. My controller, I set it in back there just because there was not enough space right there at the time. I'm pretty sure you guys saw in the thing that the landing gear was different. I don't think I talked about that yet, but I did change up the landing gear just a bit because I think this way it looks a bit better and it's a lot more stable than the weird wheel things that I had. So I just think that looks a bit better. I don't think other than that I didn't change much. Oh yeah, I did extend these out a block. Just makes it a little bit more stable. I'm not sure about this being the same yellow. I might change this to be the gray. I think that might make it look a little bit better. That's just my thoughts. Let me know if that's what you guys would think look better as well. You know, because I'm kind of like 50-50 on that. Also still, yeah, let me know if I should move these down to match the same height with this, so that way when it's going forward it's not pitching up and stuff like that. Sorry about that. Anyways, I think that's looking good. Back to the whole flight thing. So what I wanted to do originally, and it's probably what I'll still try to implement, is there's a button you can press for VTOL flight and like normal flight. So there'll be like ailerons and stuff like that for that, you know. Sorry, give me a second, I just gotta... Alright, there we go, sorry. There'll be like ailerons, and then the engines will go full tilt forward. So they'll be, like this will be straight back. And then from there, there'll be like ailerons somewhere, I don't know where. And that'll help control roll, pitch, things like that without the engines turning, because that's a whole nother thing that I would have to set up. But I can just copy over things from a gyro into the microcontroller in the seat from where I got this microcontroller for the VTOL. I got it off of where did I get this? I cannot think of the name right now, but I'll put it in the description. So I'll put a link to the vehicle that I pulled it from, and then you guys can go toy around with that if you want to make your own VTOL creations. So there you go. It'll be in the description for you guys, so just look down there for it. But there was a thing attached to it that I didn't include because I didn't think I would need it, but now I'm thinking I do want it. To where it was also, there was rudder controls and like aileron, stuff like that, for like wings, for more flight controls and stuff. So if I go into here, I don't care about the animation. If I go into here, it was these, like the control surfaces, it would change these up a bit. Oh yeah, these can get pretty big. But it would change these, it would also change like fin controls, stuff like that. And it would just be data that would tell it whether or not to roll and whatnot. So I'm gonna include that. I don't know why I went on a whole like rant, not rant, but weird way of describing it, I guess. Didn't do that the best, but it's whatever. Got the point across in the end. But yeah, no, I think that's great. So we're done for today. So go screenshot here for the thumbnail. Actually, no, I don't like that. There we go. Anyways, if you guys stuck around to the end, thank you. You know, I'm still a pretty small YouTuber. I have literally like, I think 15 or 12 subs, so it's not that great for YouTuber wise. But yeah, if you want to help grow my channel, just subscribe, drop a like down below, and that's it. So thank you guys, until next time.